Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. We had some weakness in the US markets over the weekend despite relatively better job data because of the elections uncertainty, and the European markets were also up about 0.3 to 0.4% because of the better job numbers in US. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, most of them are soft and they are down in fact about 0.2 to 0.3%, as we are also going to have election results in China over the next few days. What is important to note is that the Brent crude price has actually come down to almost 105, which used to be in the range of about 108 to 109 over the past few days, mainly because of the decision by the US to allow foreign tankers to supply oil in US. So if the Brent crude continues to remain about 105 or a little lower, then definitely it's going to be positive for our markets. Back home friends, on Friday our markets had a very smart pullback, mainly because of the better set of numbers and some kind of stability in the global markets, and we saw a strong up move in counters like Wipro, some of the auto names like Maruti and Mahindra because of the better numbers, and even the mid cap as a sector has been participating well. But 5720, 5750 continues to be a sticky level around which the market is not able to cross that level. So this is something that we will have to watch out for over the next few days. And on that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues, strategies and ideas that we can look at in the F&O segment.
Good morning friends. We have been seeing from past couple of trading session after a breakout, Nifty has been trading on the higher side, and in 5 days straight taking positive global cues. Nifty opened gap up by more than 50 points, and accumulation of long position all through the day has supported Nifty close with a spectacular rise of more than 1%. Now if we talk about the implied volatility, we have seen that it has further cooled off by say around 50 to 100 basis point, according to that, which has been indicating that the bias for the market is positive. Now if we have a look at the individual strikes perspective front, what we have seen is that 5,900 call option stands with the highest number of shares in the open interest, followed by 5,800 and 6,000 call option. Whereas on the lower side we have seen that 5,600 put option stands with the highest number of shares, followed by 5,700 and 400. So what we feel is that 5,700 would act as a good support for the market, and 5,800 on higher basis would act as a resistance, purely because 5,700 is the weekly VWAP. So on intraday basis this levels could be watched on, and if one gets an opportunity to buy around 5,700, one should go long, and on weekly basis 5,800 would act as a hurdle. But if those levels are taken off on the higher side, then probably 5,900 could be targeted. Now talking about the stocks from intraday perspective, Adani Port is looking good, so one can maintain a stop loss of 126 rupees 50 paisa. Also Chambal Fertilizer is looking good, so one can maintain a stop loss of 67 rupees 95 paisa. Whereas BPCL is looking bit weak, so one can go short on BPCL with resistance of 344 rupees 10 paisa. Thank you.
Here are the important news and results that we are tracking today. Cipla would be announcing the numbers, and we are looking at a net profit of about 371 crore, which would show a growth of about 20%. And in case of India Cement, we are looking at a net profit of about 59 crore, which would be about 15.5% fall on a YOY basis. And from the companies which have already announced the numbers, the Godrej Consumer Products came out with a weak set of numbers, and the operating margins also dropped quite sharply from about 18.9 to almost 15.6%, and the growth in the profit was mainly because of the interest outgo, which was lower than expectation. So on overall basis, Godrej Consumer numbers were weak. Also Crompton Greaves announced numbers, and they were also weak both on a standalone basis as well as consolidated basis. And though the revenue growth was okay, the operating profit margins were extremely low, and because of the restructuring of the Belgium plant, there were losses to the tune of 80 crore. So overall these numbers have not gone down too well with the street, so you expect some weakness in Crompton Greaves stock. We have seen a sharp fall in the Brent crude price over the past few days from about 108.9 odd levels to almost $105, and this could be positive news for companies like HPCL, BPCL, Oil India, and to some extent companies like ONGC and GAIL. So watch out for some positive action in these stocks today. Dabur India is looking for a foreign partner for its retail subsidiary and H&B stores because now the retail sector has been opened up for the foreign investors. So one can expect positive action in Dabur India. Because of this, one can go long there with a stop loss of 123 and a target of about 129 to 131. Hotel Leela is likely to issue preferential shares, about 3 crore shares at a price of about 32.4, which is positive for Hotel Leela because it's doing this preferential allotment at a slight premium to the market price. So one can go long there with a stop loss of 29.5 and a target of about 31 to 31.50. And Nippon Life and Reliance Capital are likely to exchange the insurance product after Nippon Life has picked up about 26% stake in Reliance Capital. So this is a bit of a positive for Reliance Capital. One can go long with a stop loss of 384 and a target of about 404 to 411. And DLF is likely to raise about 2,500 crore by selling its non-core assets. This is a bit of a positive for DLF, so one can go long there with a stop loss of 201 and a target of about 211 to 215. Nalco's plant is going to face some kind of a problem because it's unlikely to be renewed anytime soon. So one can go short on Nalco with a stop loss of 47.73 and a target of about 45.4 to 44.4. And in case of Reliance Industries, the tussle between the CAG and Reliance continues, and now CAG has said that by agreeing to not undertake performance audit for the KG-D6 basin, the oil ministry has violated the constitution of India, and Reliance has issued a statement that it hopes that the CAG will not conduct performance audit. So this tussle is going on, which is not positive for Reliance. So one can go short with a stop loss of 824 and a target of about 784 to 766. And Odisha government has actually issued notices to various iron ore companies for excess mining to the tune of about 50,000 crore, including companies like Tata Steel, Sarda Mines and few other miners. So this is negative for Tata Steel. One can go short there with a stop loss of 410 and a target of about 390 to 382. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a nice trading session and see you tomorrow morning.